The Drake and Kendrick beef has been quite confusing for some people and a little crazy. So I decided I was gonna make a video and update you guys on it. All right, so this beef originally stems from when Drake and J. Cole decided they were gonna make some music together, which is not out of the ordinary. Drake is a leech and he's always gonna do that. He's gonna find another person to leech off. So he's making music with J. Cole. And then J. Cole in this music video, the first person shooter, he decides to say, like, we're in the big three. And he's referring to him, Kendrick, and Drake. Then Kendrick felt some type of way, and that's when this all started. So Kendrick felt some type of way, and how he decided to respond was obviously going to be through music. So in this video right here with Metro Boomin, Future, and Kendrick, so Kendrick decided to say the big three because it's just big me. That's what really started it all, and he was referring obviously to J. Cole and Drake. Initially everyone was like, whoa, hold on, what's happening right now? Because Future had a joint album with Drake, so why would he be on a diss track with, which it didn't make much sense at first. Apparently there's a lot of shady stuff going behind the scenes, and a lot of people really don't like Drake. So everyone, when the Like That record with Future and Kendrick and Metro Boomin first came out, everyone was bumping it, all that stuff, and a lot of people were actually picking sides because Metro Boomin decided he was going to tweet out, pick your side and stay on it. So a lot of people were picking sides. So then J. Cole decided that he was going to respond. For some reason, he decided to drop a whole surprise album where it was like 15 songs or something like that, where he decided he was gonna drop this album. So because there's a lot of attention on him, it would make sense, more money, more plays, all that stuff. And the last song on the album was actually a Kendrick diss, and the diss was called 7-Minute Drill, and the song is only 3 minutes and 32 seconds long, which I thought was hilarious. He's not really saying anything on here at all. So this is one of the lines that actually was the only good one, or what I would say was like a good slight diss to Kendrick on the J. Cole. He says he averaging one hard verse like every 30 months or something, which hey, Kendrick don't really release like that. I get it. But man, like this whole song right here is fucked up because he called it 7-Minute Drill, and the shit is 3 minutes long. All right, so after J. Cole decided to be all big, strong and stuff or whatever, he wants to fight Kendrick, you know what I mean? He's battling, right? He goes on to apologize, which makes no sense, and Kendrick didn't even respond to him.
Except for one part. It's one part of that shit that make me feel like, man, that's the lamest shit I ever did in my fucking life, right? And I know this is not what a lot of people want to hear. I know I can hear my niggas up there right now like, nah, don't do that. But I got to keep it 100 with y'all, right? I damn near had a relapse, right? Because y'all heard some shit that happened 3 weeks ago, however long it was. Y'all heard that bazooka that was dropped on the motherfucker.
So he apologizes. He kind of low-key dodged a bullet because Drake is now getting all this heat, and I don't think J. Cole would have actually been up for the battle. Now this is when it started getting serious. So Drake decided that he was gonna come out with his own diss, and there was gonna be push-ups. So this song right here, and it's about 4 minutes long, and it's basically going at Kendrick the whole entire time. And let's look at the lyrics real quick. So it says, I could never be nobody #1 fan. Your first #1, I had to put it in your hands. So he's talking about how Kendrick, how the Like That record, he gave it to Kendrick because it was #1. He says, you pussies can't get booked outside America, or nah. I'm out in Tokyo because I'm big in Japan. I'm the hitmaker y'all depend on. Backstage in my shitty, it was friend zone. And he's referring that he's bigger than them. So like, what are y'all talking about? You know what I mean? You won't ever take no chain off us. How the fuck you big stepping with a size 7 men's on? And he's talking about Kendrick. Kendrick ain't that tall. Kendrick ain't that tall. Let's look up Kendrick. Oh yeah, I just looked up his age real quick. He's 36. So Kendrick heights 5'5". Damn. That's tough. And then Drake is 6 foot. So I don't know if they can box. I was thinking they could probably box to sell this, but I don't know. And also, this sticker right here is Kendrick's shoe size. So that's what he was referring to in the first part. So Kendrick still has not responded. And this is the third diss track that has been made about him. It says, tailor-made freestyle. The lyrics to it, but so this one was kind of weird because he decided to use AI Tupac, Drake did, and he used, I think it was AI Snoop Dogg, but it says, Kendrick, we need ya, the West Coast survive. I can't speak, bro. Engraving your name in some hip hop history. If you deal with this velocity. Hey, okay, whatever. I'm letting it play. Y'all probably have a panic attack. Listen to this.
Viciously, you seem a little nervous about all the publicity.
Which he's using AI Tupac. This is a Drake diss, so like what am I, you're thinking, what are you hearing, right? I don't know if Drake has been using AI the whole entire time for these diss tracks, because he could honestly be using it. So right here, he decides to use AI Snoop Dogg, which is, this is so confusing me. I don't understand why he did this.
Right. I know you've never been to jail or was jumpsuits and shower shoes.
And then this is where he decided he actually used his own voice and stop being weird about it. Like the third part into the song.
Remove. You trying to let this shit die down. Nah, not this time.
So 3 diss tracks made on Kendrick, and he still has not responded. Now, this was Kendrick's initial response to Drake, because he wasn't responding to J. Cole anymore. He literally killed J. Cole, him apologizing. So he's going in on him.
Better hard spinning again on him. You think about.
So he goes in on him, right? He's going in from like 6 minutes straight. But one line I want to talk about is, where is it at? How many more black features till you finally feel that you're black enough? Hey, now I'm light skinned. I know there's some light skins out there that try to like appeal to like black culture the most. Like even if they're like mixed, I'm mixed. So like, I don't really care. I'm black no matter what you say. It doesn't really matter. But you can see Kendrick is going in on him because he does do a lot of things with other rappers, especially from like Atlanta. He's done stuff with 21 to build his street cred, but he has no backing of like why he is street, you know what I mean? So this is what Drake looked like as a teenager. He was on the show Degrassi. If you guys don't know, you probably, if you're too young, you probably don't know what it is. I was a little young when it first came out too. You can see this is what Drake used to look like as a teenager, and this is a great, like he changed so much. It seems like that he fakes it from what he actually is, because I don't know about you guys, but theater kids are pretty nerdy. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, but you wouldn't expect someone that is acting and doing all these things, and especially is a theater person and doing this, would become one of the biggest rappers in the world, and that he's trying to prove that he's street when we all know where he came from, and it's pretty obvious that he's not what he seems to be. And then Kendrick goes on to end the song by saying, "We don't want to hear you say nigga no more," which I get. Some black people don't like it when light-skinned people say the N-word or whatever. Come on now. We're black here. He can say it, but I don't think he really cares. He's just trolling him a little bit, trying to get under his skin. So before Drake can actually even respond, Kendrick comes out with another diss track, and it's called 616 in LA diss track.
Wine cooler spill on my white t-shirt, the sightseer, trifecta.
And that's a bop. I don't care what anyone says, that's a bop. Now, Kendrick was really rapping and just going at him in this, but one of the biggest things that he said in this whole entire song was that he had moles in his crew. But here, I'll let him say it for himself.
Trouble you, know the why is.
Goes in and he's saying basically you got moles in your camp, and then Drake responded with family matters, but I'll let you see how this
You
starts.
shouldn't start by saying,
Nigga, I said it. I know that you mad. I've emptied the clip over friendlier jabs. You mentioned my seat.
Drake was trying to go at Kendrick, and he's going off for the start. Initially he's going hard, and he starts off by saying, "Nigga, I know you're mad. I said it." Whatever, you know what I mean? Because he's in the other one, Kendrick was like, "I don't want to hear you saying nigga no more," which I understand, but he's like, "Fuck you," you know what I mean? Like I thought that was funny. Now with all Drake's disses and all that stuff where he's been releasing, I was really not vibing with it until I heard this song. The Family Matters song, the first 2 parts aren't good. I don't care, but this part right here,
His mouth. Someone go hand him a Grammy right now. Where's your uncle at? Cause I wanna talk to the man in the house. West Coast niggas do fake.
all right, so basically he's going at him, all that stuff, but that's a bop. I was bobbing my head 100% to that. All right, so Drake goes on to say in this song, he says, "Kendrick just opened his mouth. Somebody hand him a Grammy right now." So I don't know what Drake was really talking about, but so Kendrick has 17 Grammys and 50 nominations. How is that a diss? I still to this day, I've been thinking about it. I'm like, that's the hardest part in the song. But it's low-key a compliment saying you have a lot of Grammys, you open your mouth. And then we're looking at Drake's Grammy nominations. He has more nominations than Kendrick. He has 55 and Kendrick had 50. And Kendrick has 17 wins. And Drake only has 5. So how is that a diss? I just thought that was stupid. And then Drake goes on to say in this song, he said, "I heard one of them little kids might be Dave Free. Don't make it Dave Freeze." So I was like, who's Dave Free? Who the fuck is that? Now, apparently, it's Kendrick, one of his best mans or whatever, right? So he's saying his baby mama might have had kids with his boy. And I'm like, I've never seen this man in my entire life. But apparently, Kendrick might have one of this dude's kids. You know what I'm talking about? No homo, no homo. And then Drake's coming back at him for saying that he has a mole in his camp. He said, which one of my so-called niggas is basically saying, and then which one of my so-called niggas needs a shell from the clip? He's saying, which one do I gotta take out? But I think he's saying that he doesn't have a mole in his camp, and that's basically a response to that. 30 minutes after Drake's Family Matters, Kendrick goes on to release this. Now, when I heard this, I'm like, this is a super villain type beat.
Dear Adonis, I'm sorry that man is your father.
So he's basically going in at him on this. And then one of the main things that Kendrick says on this is that Drake has a daughter, which is wild. And he goes on to say that she's like 11 years old. And what he says is, dear baby girl, I'm sorry that your father is not active inside your world. He does not commit to as much, but his music, yeah, that's for sure. He's a narcissist, a misogynist, live inside his songs, trying to destroy families rather than taking care of his own. Oh, that's crazy. You know what I mean? But he's not saying it with any proof. I mean, with the Pusha T beef, we discovered a kid from Drake, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if we found another one from this. So after Kendrick released that, 30 minutes after, mind you, after that, he goes, Drake posts on his Instagram story, it says, now hold on, can someone find my hidden daughter, please, and send her to me? These guys are in shambles. He responds to the daughter allegations, but he doesn't respond to the pedo allegations. So, or that he likes young girls, which is wild to me. I think I would respond to more serious allegations. I mean, having a daughter, you're not taking care of her, that's kind of messed up too. But they're convincing you. I mean, they're basically saying you're committing crimes and you don't respond to it. Also, I forgot to mention, this is also Drake's house. I mean, a lot of people probably don't know, but he built this crazy house. He tore down a mansion, and a lot of people, especially his neighbors, I think were like pretty mad about it. You can see, hey, that house right here where I'm pointing at right now. Oh, you can't see, I'm not pointing, but my mouse, where's that? That's a pretty big house. And that's probably one of the biggest mansions you probably see, right? And look at Drake's house. That's crazy. His shit is big. Pause, bro. But yeah, and then apparently he's got a bunch of people inside. It's probably like security. I guess he is like a mole that's telling Kendrick where these people are, I guess. But I just thought that was funny. He's kind of just saying, I know where your people at, and I know where you live type stuff. So Drake responded. Obviously, he's got to respond to 2 diss tracks. So he's going to go a little bit harder, I would assume. And then he obviously is going to put Dave Free as the main focal image because he's basically saying, fuck you. That's not your kids. And then that would get under another man's skin pretty hard. But then he goes on to say this.
The Pulitzer Prize winner is definitely spiraling. I got your fucking lines tapped. I swear that I'm dialed in.
So I think he's saying that he's got like faulty information because he's got his lines tapped, because he probably knows the person that's giving him the information. And then where is it at the end? I'm not going to find it, but he says that the person that gave you information is giving false information, and he was feeding him the information that he had a daughter that he wasn't taking care of. So that's where he was like, oh, I got you, nigga. I got you, right? And Drake goes on responding saying that he really wasn't, like, he got faulty information. Also, the one in this is the Heart Part 6. And so if you don't know, Kendrick has this thing where he has songs called the Heart Part whatever. And that's kind of a jab at him because now he can't make the Heart Part 6 because he was on the Heart Part 5. So he would have to skip over the next one. Is another jab at him that way. So Drake was responding to the pedo allegations. This is how he decided to respond to it.
Baby mama screensaver. Only fucking with Whitney's, not Millie Bobby Brown's. I never.
So if you don't know, Millie Bobby Brown was apparently like talking to Drake when she was underage and like giving her advice on boys when she was underage. So, and no one mentioned Millie Bobby Brown. The only people that were mentioning Millie Bobby Brown were TikTok. So Kendrick was not mentioning it at all. And he's the one that's actually bringing it up because it was weird, bro. It was weird. I found out where she was talking about her relationship with Drake.
Drake, tell me about your friendship. How did this all come about?
I love him. I met him in Australia, and he's honestly so fantastic and a great friend and a great role model. You know, we just text each other the
Why is Drake texting? Okay, whatever.
other day, and he was like, I miss you so much. I was like, I miss you more. He's coming to Atlanta, so I'm definitely going to go and see him. I'm so excited, yeah.
What advice does he give you? Like, what does he say?
About boys. He helps.
So why In the fuck is Drake giving advice to Millie Bobby Brown about boys? I don't know. It could have been like, I'm not saying it could be weird, but it could be weird, you know what I mean? So there's no more disses. Everyone's responded. So I don't know what next level it goes to, but apparently, I'm not saying Kendrick did anything, but a security guard was shot outside Drake's house in Toronto. So that big mansion that I showed you earlier, and then here's the police guy talking about
This
it.
morning at about 2 a.m., police were called to a shooting at the residence behind me here. When officers arrived, they located a male who was suffering from an apparent gunshot wound. That male was taken to hospital in serious condition. That person was working, apparently, as a security guard at the residence. He was standing outside of the gates in front of the residence when the shooting occurred. We have individuals who obviously performed the shooting who were seen in a vehicle. I do not have a description of the vehicle or the suspects at this time. Again, it's very early on in the investigation.
What extent is the rat beef between Drake and Kendrick Lamar part of the investigation focus?
So, I am aware of what you're talking about, but it is so early in the investigation that we don't have a motive at this time.
So I don't know if Kendrick was involved in that shooting. Obviously, I don't. Why would I? But it's been kind of like a lot of hate on Drake, and a lot of people know where he lives. So you can't automatically blame Kendrick for it. I would just take it as a normal investigation because this could have already been like a planned idea before Kendrick did all this stuff. You never know. But there's a lot of higher people in power that might be. But Ryan Garcia is one of those people that have trying to expose people. So I'm going to direct you guys to my other video about Ryan Garcia and how he's crazy. But it should be in the top left or right.